What is evolution? When most people hear the word evolution, they think of a straight linear line from point A to point B, from monkey to man. However, evolution is more like a tree. It all starts from one singular point and slowly branches out. Some branches are short or dead ends, but others keep growing, getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and slowly start to encompass all of life as we know it. This is a basic fact about Darwin's theory of evolution. All life is related. From the smallest insect to the largest oak in the forest, all of it came from the same place. The other thing to understand about Darwin's theory of evolution by natural selection is obviously natural selection. It is part of the name after all. Natural selection basically acts to preserve and accumulate good genetic mutations. What that means is that when an organism has a mutation or change in its genes, something that makes it different, natural selection will decide if it will live on or die out. If it is harmful to the species, then the organism is more likely to die and not reproduce. However, if it is beneficial and helps the species, then the organism has a higher chance of reproducing and passing on the mutation to its offspring. Natural selection basically enables a species to keep going and surviving in the wild. It can also eliminate inferior species over time. If you're still confused about how natural selection works, then let me give you an example. Take this colony of rabbits. Some rabbits have a gene that makes them have white fur, while others have a gene that makes them have brown fur. All of them live in an area covered with snow. Because the white rabbits are better suited to their surroundings, they will have a higher chance of surviving and reproducing. They will also be able to hide from predators like owls. However, the brown rabbits will stand out against the white snow and get eaten. Because of this, there will be more white rabbits and they will keep reproducing. After years pass and multiple generations of rabbits have come and gone, the better suited rabbits, and by that I mean the white rabbits, will dominate the population. So next time the owl comes along, it will have a much harder job finding its prey. Think about it like survival of the fittest. However, both natural selection and evolution are slow processes. Darwin himself wrote, "Natural selection acts only by taking advantage of slight successive variations. It can never take a great and sudden leap, but must advance by short and sure, though slow steps." Evolution didn't happen instantly. It's not like a monkey one day woke up and realized it was human. No, it's something that takes time. Because of this, opponents of the theory of evolution say that the existence of irreducibly complex systems completely invalidates the theory. An irreducibly complex system is one composed of multiple parts, all of which are needed for the system to work properly. If even one part is missing, the entire system will fail to work. Every individual part is essential. Therefore, opponents of evolution say a system like this cannot have evolved slowly piece by piece. A mousetrap is an example of an irreducibly complex system. It requires all of its 5 parts to work: the base, the hammer, the spring, the catch, and the holding bar. If you take even one away, it won't catch the mouse. It's not like you can start with just the base, catch a few mice, then add the spring, catch a few more, etc. That's what makes it irreducibly complex. The human body also has parts that seem irreducibly complex, which is why some people say that evolution is impossible. One of the most obvious examples of this is the eye. There are so many parts, critics say, that it is impossible that it could have happened through small random mutations, even over millions of years. Darwin himself says that evolution happens through small steps, so how could it have created the various parts of the eye? The retina, the lens, the pupil, and so on, since none of the parts by themselves create vision. However, there is a way the eye could have evolved, making evolution all the more possible. A simple light-sensitive spot on the skin of some ancestral creature gave it some tiny survival advantage, perhaps allowing it to evade a predator. Random changes then created a dip in the light-sensitive patch, a deepening pit that made vision a little sharper. At the same time, the pit's opening gradually narrowed, so light entered through a small gap like a pinhole camera. Eventually, the light-sensitive spot evolved into a retina, a lens formed at the front of the eye, etc. In fact, eyes corresponding to every stage in the sequence have been found in existing living species. This just goes to show just how much of life evolution can cover, and to think that Darwin came up with his theory after a trip to the Galapagos Islands. Evolution is made up of billions of tiny mutations in the gene pool, some good and some bad, that eventually add up, forming all of life as we know it. And in the end, we can thank Darwin for most of our knowledge about how we came to be. After all, he came up with quite an evolutionary theory.